What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos show back here again to do another video. In this video, I'll be recapping what the Broncos did in the first round of the 2013 NFL Draft, which of course was last night. First round is in the books. The Broncos stood pat at pick 28, did make a selection. We took defensive tackle Sylvester Williams out of North Carolina. This was a guy that I talked about in my draft preview, the first part of my draft preview for the Broncos that I put out 2 days ago. Didn't really think he would fall to 28, but he did. And I think this is a nice pick by the Broncos. Maybe not the best pick, maybe not a great exciting pick, but I think Sylvester Williams is a solid player, and I think you get good value in taking a player of his caliber in the back end of the first round at pick number 28, and I'm really excited to have Sylvester Williams here in Denver. I think he adds some competition for us and some depth for us at the defensive tackle position, which is something we haven't had in a long time, and I think this is a guy that's going to be a productive player for us day one. Now you look at what Sylvester Williams did for the Tar Heels in North Carolina last season. He finished with 13.5 tackles and 6 sacks in 2012. This is a guy that is a very good athlete for his size. He's a good interior pass rusher. He's going to push the pocket effectively. He's going to force that pocket to collapse, and that's a big reason why I think he's going to help our defense a lot, because without Elvis Dumervil, Von Miller is going to have a lot of pressure on him going into his third season this year. A lot of opposing offenses are going to focus a lot of their attention on how to contain him, and now that you add a big guy like Sylvester Williams, hopefully he'll be able to take on a couple blocks and free up some one-on-one situations for Von Miller on the outside, because I think there's going to be times this season where Von Miller is going to get doubled, maybe even triple teamed by opposing offensive lines, and you add a guy like Sylvester Williams who can push the pocket from an interior standpoint and force that pocket to collapse. That's, you know, teams are going to have to focus on him a little bit as well, and that's going to hopefully take some of the focus and some of the pressure off Von Miller. This is a guy that's disruptive against the run, which you like that. Our run defense definitely can use some improvement going into this season, especially after that playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens. So adding a big guy like Sylvester Williams to put in the middle of your defense, along your defensive line, along your defensive front, that's big, and a guy like him that's disruptive in the run game, I think that's going to be big for us. The one issue with Sylvester Williams is he is a poor tackler, but hopefully with him now being here and being coached by a guy like Jack Del Rio and John Fox, that the tackling will get better and they will improve his technique. I think it's a really good pick. I think it's, again, solid value at the back end of the first round. I don't think Sylvester Williams is going to be a guy that's going to be an immediate impact player right away, but I think you could easily see him get 5 to 10 sacks next season, be disruptive in the run game, improve as a tackler under Coach Fox and Jack Del Rio, and give us an interior pass rushing presence, which is something we haven't had in quite some time. He's going to help us push the pocket effectively. Now the shift obviously focuses to the second day of the 2013 NFL Draft, which will be this afternoon. Starts at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The Broncos have a lot of options. We still have a lot of work to do, a lot of holes to fill. There's plenty of talented running backs still on the board. There was no running backs taken in the first round, I believe. There's plenty of linebackers still on the board, which is something we could look. Plenty of inside linebackers. I think all 3 linebackers that I mentioned in my draft preview, Manti Te'o, Arthur Brown, and Kevin Minter, all 3 of them are still on the board, so maybe we can get one of those guys, defensive back, safety, plenty of depth. I think we'll look to go there. And defensive end, there's still plenty of defensive linemen in this draft, plenty of defensive ends. Cornelius Tank Carradine still on the board, so maybe that's a guy you look to see the Broncos target. Kawan Short still on the board, so there's plenty of guys that are going to be productive players in the NFL that are still available, and really looking forward to see what the Broncos do in the second and third round. So that's my video, guys. Leave me a comment below with what you think of the Broncos' first round selection in taking defensive tackle Sylvester Williams out of North Carolina, and what impact do you think he will make on the team going into next season. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Broncos.